case, right now, or I swear I'll pull this trigger." Special Agent Rhea Torres shouted into the winter darkness, her Glock steady but her voice trembling. The night wind screamed across the Brooklyn Bridge, carrying the roar of traffic below and the faint wail of distant sirens. Spotlights from NYPD cruisers cast long shadows across the frozen steel walkway. Tourists and late-night cyclists had fled, leaving a tense vacuum filled only with the hum of cables and the quick, nervous breaths of uniformed officers. Ahead of her stood a lone man, Callan Vare, wrapped in a dark overcoat, a black beanie pulled low across his brow. His breath curled white in the icy air. In his right hand hung a silver steel briefcase, its polished latches flashing each time a gust of wind knifed between the cables. He didn't blink. He didn't flinch. Only the faint tightening of his jaw betrayed the storm inside. "Agent Torres," he said, voice low but unnervingly calm. "You think I'm here to destroy this city. You think this case is a bomb, but if I let it go, thousands die. If I open it, millions will know the truth." Rhea's heart slammed like a sledgehammer against her ribs. Her earpiece hissed with frantic orders. Neutralize the target. Secure the device. End it if he resists. Every classified briefing for the past 72 hours had led to this exact moment? Callan Vare, a rogue intelligence officer, suspected of carrying a portable EMP device capable of plunging half the eastern seaboard into darkness. Hospitals offline. Air traffic crippled. Tens of thousands dead in the first hour. At least that's what her superiors claimed. But Callan's eyes held no madness, only a terrible, deliberate calm. And something else. A flicker of recognition, as if he had been waiting for her and her alone. Wind howled between the bridge cables, snapping the American flag like a gunshot. Callan slowly crouched, set the briefcase on the icy railing, and raised his hands. Not surrender, but precision, like a surgeon preparing a delicate cut. "Inside this case," he said, voice carrying in the frozen air, "is proof that your director sold American cyber keys to a private network. A backdoor into every hospital, every airport, every power station in the Northeast. Tonight at 2 o'clock, those keys go live. No bombs, no gunfire, just a blackout. And control." Rhea's breath clouded in front of her face, sharp as broken glass. Orders screamed in her ear to take the shot, but the words slithered into her mind and coiled there. Could this be true? The man before her, calm, precise, spoke with the cadence of someone who had nothing left to lose. "Planted the EMP warning," she said, forcing her voice above the wind. "It was bait." Callan nodded once. "A false flag. I needed them to send someone fast, someone I could trust to see through the noise. You were top of my list below them. Black SUVs without headlights slid onto the bridge deck, tires hissing on wet asphalt. A tactical strike team. Time was collapsing. 30 seconds, Callan warned softly. "Either you take me in alive, or the director's men take us both out. They can't let this evidence reach daylight." His breath mingled with the mist of a fading clock. Rhea's pulse pounded so violently she thought the bridge itself might feel it. The roar of the SUV grew louder. Unmarked, headlights off, strike team inbound. Red laser dots danced suddenly across Rhea's chest. A megaphone cracked the night. "Agent Torres!" Step away from the suspect. Director Nixon's voice, cold, commanding. Callan exhaled. "You shoot me," he said. "They'll claim I triggered the device. They'll bury the truth with me. But if you trust me, even for 10 seconds, we can end this. He slid the briefcase across the railing, the metal scraping like a blade on stone. Gasps erupted from the officers behind her. Rhea holstered her weapon. The lasers quivered. The night held its breath. She raised the case above her head and shouted, voice ringing like steel. This briefcase contains government encryption keys. I am placing both the evidence and the suspect under federal protection. Any shot fired will be an act of treason. For a long, razor-thin moment, the bridge was silent except for the groan of steel cables in the winter wind. Then, as if an invisible signal passed through the air, the laser dots vanished. The black SUVs reversed into the darkness. Callan lowered his hands, eyes shining with relief. "You just saved the grid," he whispered. Rhea clutched the briefcase. "No," she replied softly. "We saved the truth." Hours later, investigators would uncover the hidden backdoor program on Director Madsen's private servers. Emergency hearings would shake Washington. The Northeast blackout never came, and Callan Vare's name would vanish from every official record, leaving only whispers. When reporters later asked Agent Torres why she defied direct orders, she paused, remembering the icy wind, the lasers, the silence. "It wasn't the gun," she said. "It wasn't the case. It was the fact that one man was willing to risk everything for a truth bigger than both of us. Sometimes the bravest move isn't pulling the trigger. It's refusing to be a weapon when the whole system demands you fire." Image prompt. Part 3.